What's up, guys? Welcome back to another TheSportUniverse Reacts. So what I want to talk about today is, I guess, the winners and losers of the MLB Draft that concluded, what's today? Today is June 13th, so it concluded 2 days ago, I'm pretty sure. Obviously 5 rounds this time, not 40. They condensed the draft, or cut off, I guess, 35 rounds. I'm not really sure how the math worked. Well, it must have been 30. They must have cut off 35 rounds, which is crazy. But it was not in person. It was remote. So kind of similar to what NFL did. But I want to go over the winners and losers. This is my point of view. So obviously, I'm expecting some opposing opinions. So the first... Should I start losers or winners? Let's start losers. So I thought that the obvious loser of this draft... I'm going to put on my glasses. I was trying to do it without them, but I can't put on my glasses. So I think that the obvious loser of this year's draft was the Red Sox. And that really comes to the point because they had lost one of their second-round pick because of 2018 sign stealing. And I feel like they didn't really they didn't really do a good job of kind of combating that, and their picks were kind of dependent on that they didn't have the second round pick, and I thought that kind of hurt some of their higher picks. Well, really their higher pick. Let me just get into it because I'm trying to not say it, but I want to say it. So, sorry if I look weird while looking at this. I don't have my glasses on. So, their first pick was Nick Yorks in the 17th pick overall. Nick Yorks is a second baseman who really, he's not known for his defensive skills. He's really known for his offense. And he's really solid offensive player. Could be an elite offensive player. People are saying he could be a DH, which he has the potential to be, because his defense isn't the greatest. And the Red Sox being in the American League, there's the opportunity for the DH. However, why I was talking about being dependent on not having the second round pick, they picked Nick Yorks because they didn't think he would be available in the third round and really liked him, so they had to waste their 17th. We'll see what Nick Yorks becomes, but they had to waste their 17th overall pick on a player like Nick Yorks, who wasn't really considered a first round talent, because they didn't think he'd be available in the third round because they didn't have that second round pick. Then in the third round, which I think was their biggest, I think Nick Yorks is probably better, but, well, no one really knows. But at the current point, I think Nick Yorks is a better player. But I think their best pick of the draft was Blaze Jordan, who's basically considered an offensive juggernaut. He's known for some YouTube highlight videos. I didn't really watch them, but I was reading articles that were saying that he's known for some viral YouTube videos about him playing baseball. I think he won a home run derby, the high school home run derby. And basically Blaze Jordan is crazy powerful. It seems like, he won the home run derby. He's known for his power, and they were able to get him in the third round. He was, I think, projected to be number 1 in his graduating class, but obviously it changed because he's not being picked in his graduating class, being picked this year like he was. So I think that was their best pick of the night. I'm not going to go into 2, I guess it would be 4 and 5, because I'm not going to make this video so long. So I hope you guys like the yawning. I'm not editing that out. So I think the Blaze Jordan was their best pick, but their other picks kind of suffered because they were dependent on not having that second round pick. The next thing I want to talk about is the winner. Now, I know this is going to be biased, but I honestly think the Mets had one of the best drafts of the night. I'm going to say top 3, but I'm going to really talk about them because I really know the most about them, and I kind of want to talk about them. So, their first pick, I'm also going to do their top 3 picks. Their first pick was Pete Crow Armstrong. They picked him at the 19th overall, 2 slots behind the Red Sox. Pete Crow Armstrong is known for his offense and defense. Really his defense, but his offense is nothing to shy away from. Nothing to belittle, I guess. He can make highlight plays in the outfield and highlight plays on the offense. That's really the simplest way to put it. The Mets needed a center fielder. It was like a perfect pick for them. They needed a center fielder, and a lot of people consider it kind of like a steal, getting him in the 19th overall pick. Obviously, there's different opinions, but now yawning's just in my head, so I keep yawning. So that was like a perfect pick for them, and they needed that center fielder. They didn't have a high-ranking center fielder in their minor league system, and it was like a perfect storm for them. Their second pick was Teigen, who's I think a right-handed pitcher. He had been drafted 2 years ago by the Dodgers in the first round, but he felt that he deserved more money from the Dodgers and ended up going back to college to prove his worth more. However, he ended up getting Tommy John surgery this March, and was now drafted in the second round by the Mets. I'm really sorry about that. He was drafted in the second round by the Mets. He's a little concerning. His talent's all there. The concern around him is if the Mets will actually be able to sign him, and I think they will be for a couple reasons. First off, he's coming off of Tommy John surgery, so this might be the best opportunity for him to get as high as he could, because let's say he doesn't play well next year or something like that. So he has the opportunity now to go pro, and I think he's going to take advantage of that. Secondly, the Mets' 4th and 5th round picks, or their later picks, were kind of lower than slot value, so they could pay JT Ginn, who's expected to ask for higher than slot value. Slot value, for those who don't know, this is how I understand it. I could be totally off, but I think this is right. So where JT Ginn was picked, he's kind of slot valued at like $1.5 million, but people expect him to ask for more money than slot value. However, the picks that the Mets made later in the draft were lower than slot value. So let's say they pick someone at the 100th slot. I don't know if this is actually true, but let's say they pick someone at the 100th slot and they decided, let's say they had the number 100 overall pick, and they decided because they wanted to save up money to possibly offer JT Ginn, he decided to get someone who was 150th overall ranked or something like that, so lower than slot value. So I think that's how that works. So their later picks were dependent on hopefully getting JT Ginn, and JT Ginn's a first-round talent and has the opportunity to be really good. There's a lot of upside with him. And we've seen the Mets have shown that they can rehabilitate pitchers back from Tommy John surgery, and that's not only the Mets. That's Tommy John surgery is becoming one of those things it's a long process to get back from, but you can get back and be even better than before. Their last pick was Isaiah Green, who's another center fielder. This they consider like a really big steal for them. Obviously, it's weird for them to pick 2 center fielders, but it really shores up that position, and obviously center fielders can become left fielders and right fielders. It's really the transition from corner outfielder to center outfielder is a hard transition, and it's much easier for center fielders to go to the corner outfield spots. Isaiah Green's basically very similar to Armstrong in the fact that he's offensively and defensively really good. I guess since he was picked in the 3rd round, he's just a notch lower than the point that Armstrong's at right now. But I think the Mets had a really good draft. And I'm excited to see their talent play out, hopefully in the big leagues one day. But that's really it. I'm going to do 2 shorter point of views on the Instagram, so if you want to watch those, you can do that. That's it, though.